We're honored to be named one of CB Insight's most promising digital health startups, and I'm here to tell you more about the company. Happify Health is a digital therapeutics and care delivery platform company. In a complicated digital health ecosystem, our mission is quite simple. We want to empower people to live their best lives through meaningful behavior change. And we believe technology can play a significant role in accomplishing that mission. Our digital therapeutics products deliver evidence-based interventions in a highly engaging way through an AI coach named Anna. Digital therapeutics are software-only models, which means that they are always on, they're infinitely scalable, and deliver a consistent quality of care, which are great advantages in treating people in large populations. Our care delivery software, koppa, is a chronic condition, disease-specific patient engagement platform that delivers all kinds of digital services in one place in an open marketplace model. All of our products stem from one unified platform that includes user accounts, engagement layers, and data layers, all creating a tightly integrated end-to-end platform. When we look at patient journey, we really try to take a comprehensive view. So our platforms and services cover attracting users from the internet at large and multiple distribution channels, engaging and supporting them, creating community experiences, all the way to telemedicine and eventually teleprescription of pharmacological products as well as digital therapeutics. A few words about our approach to digital therapeutics. This topic has been quite hot in the news in the last couple of years and the subject of a lot of debate. Our approach is an evolutionary approach to digital therapeutics as opposed to a revolutionary one. We strongly believe in the future of prescribed therapeutics in the future, but we also acknowledge that that future might materialize in 2 to 3 years' time horizon in terms of adoption by health plans as well as prescribing physicians. Our products are being offered today for mental health management of depression, anxiety, and stress through channels like large employers and health plans. And we're also building chronic condition, non-prescribed digital therapeutics offered through the same channels, as well as pharma-sponsored patient support products. And then last year, we announced our first collaboration for a prescribed product with Sanofi. This is a 10-year collaboration, starting with products for patients or people living with MS, and rolling other products in the future. So we definitely believe in the future of prescribed therapeutics. We just think that there's something to be said about the spectrum of solutions to be provided. Happify's digital therapeutics offer over 40 different programs created by clinicians, including over 3,000 different interventions that are built on top of a rapid development content engine. We offer interventions in over 8 different modalities, such as CBT, positive psychology, mindfulness, and others, in 8 different languages, would be 10 by end of this year. We also take patient engagement very seriously. In fact, the background of the founding team is coming from digital consumer experiences as well as video games and casual games, and we've been optimizing engagement quite extensively, as can be demonstrated by our real-world evidence. Over 4 million users have been using the platform, and we're happy to report that after 12 months, over 40% of them remain active on the system, and 86% see positive outcomes after 12 months. After 1 month of using the product as prescribed. And this has been validated by multiple randomized control trials that we've conducted over the years. As mentioned before, the distribution of our products happens through enterprise clients. So we have a configurable capability to create virtual instances. We're HIPAA compliant, GDPR, going to be high trust certified by end of this year, and working diligently on our quality management system for medical device grade delivery as well. A few words about our koppa platform. Well, koppa for chronic conditions, you might think of it as similar to what Expedia or Kayak is for travel. Patients can find on koppa services such as highly personalized information, navigation through different treatment options, including finding clinical trials, options for themselves to participate in, a comprehensive set of community services like peer-to-peer access, group, all the way to expert advice. And we also see telemedicine and teletherapy options on koppa rolling into the future. In terms of distribution, happify today is offered through some of the largest employers in the country, including 3 of the top 5 global tech companies such as Google. We work closely with 4 of the 5 large national health plans such as Cigna, overall covering 12 plus million lives. We expect this to be almost double in the end of 2020. We collaborate with people like the American Heart Association in building chronic condition specific digital therapeutics. And I mentioned the Sanofi collaboration for prescription drugs, and there's several other collaborations like that we will announce. Koppa has been launched only a month ago for psoriasis, and we kind of work disease area by disease area. We're going to roll out oncology early 21, as well as additional disease areas throughout 21 and beyond. And then to sum it up, kind of a strategy in a nutshell, we believe strongly that the future holds a tighter integration between digital care delivery and digital therapeutics, perhaps as can be demonstrated by the combination last month of Teladoc and Livongo. That collaboration, we believe, or that combination would yield superior patient services. We also believe in a very close relationship with different stakeholders in the ecosystem in order to expose the most patients to those type of services, from large employers, payers, pharmaceutical companies, and others, including direct access to patients in order to attract and engage them. I would say in summary that in these trying times of a pandemic that is forcing limitations on physical access to care, as well as exacerbated mental health issues, happify Health can help in getting people access to the care that they need. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lucas, the CEO and co-founder at Protein Cure. And thanks for having me here at the Future of Digital Health Conference. I'm really excited to share some of the work that we're doing here at Protein Cure. And Protein Cure is a 3-year-old company that really focuses on building computational tools to help design the next generation of novel protein therapeutics. We are combining a few different technologies, including simulations, machine learning, and wet lab experiments. We are partnering with some of the world's largest pharma companies, and our projects are really focused on helping them create novel proteins, chemical matter that's never been seen before, that can form the basis of a new therapeutic. Today, I'm going to talk a bit about why we need new tools to do that in the world of protein drug discovery, and I'm going to highlight a case study showing some of the work we've done. The fundamental challenge of drug discovery is that you need to solve many different properties to have a successful therapeutic. So you need your drug to be potent, non-toxic, etc. And changing the therapeutic by changing the drug means that you often impact multiple properties at once. So if you're just trying to improve toxicity, that's a pretty hard problem. It's not enough to have tools that are just good at predicting the efficacy of a drug or just predicting the toxicity. You need to be able to do design to improve a drug along multiple dimensions. And that's what Protein Cure is really about. Because the most challenging problems in drug discovery are that you need to basically be able to optimize all of these different challenges and properties at once. It's a bit like looking at a finished house and then having to be able to basically reverse engineer the blueprint. And the problem becomes even more challenging in the protein space. And that's for 2 major reasons. The first is that basically these are very large molecules. Proteins are much physically bigger than most typical drugs that are small molecules. And the second is actually what you see on the screen here, data. The basic idea is that even for a small protein, we have very little data. There's infinite possibilities, close to infinite, 10 to the 65. There's 10 to the 15 possibilities, even in nature, but humanity only knows the 3D shape of 150,000 of these proteins. And so if you try to train models on those little red boxes, you only get compounds which are almost identical looking or very similar looking to those red boxes. And Protein Cure is all about helping to build the tools to find useful compounds in that wider giant ocean of possibilities. How do you find something that is dissimilar to things that you've already seen? And that's what really is our focus. Our platform has kind of three core advantages. The first, as I mentioned, is basically our lack of data dependence. Because we use all atom MD simulations, we're able to make predictions even when we haven't necessarily seen many examples before. Secondly, we have better structural diversity. We don't just look at a sequence or protein sequences for diversity, but we really consider different three-dimensional physical shapes and try to compare, what is this bump versus what is this ridge, things of that nature. And so our compounds that we choose to test in the lab are more structurally diverse. And finally, we have better drug-like properties in our leads or in our candidates because we're doing multi-property optimization. And we're also doing generative machine learning models that ensure that our candidates have those properties at the very beginning. And I'm going to talk more about that in the case study. So we've taken these tools and we are now working with a few of the world's leading pharma companies and across a couple different projects that you can see here. And many of our projects combine multiple of these areas. But the key thing is that every one of these projects is about de novo protein design. We're not just using known libraries or searching kind of known human proteins. We are really creating novel chemical matter, which will hopefully allow our partners to address the unmet needs that are out there. And so I thought it would be more interesting to kind of show you a case study that we've been working on. This is internal work, but it can help highlight, the kind of what we would use and how we would use the platform that we've built. So if you're not super familiar with drug discovery, MDMX is a target. It's a target that's implicated in cancers and many cancers. It's a notoriously hard target. People have been working on it for years, and there are no approved therapeutics. The blue line that you're looking at on this graph is the natural protein in our body that hits the target. And these other lines represent other compounds, the lower ones being the most effective. And actually the most effective compound and kind of ever been seen in the literature is this green line called PMI, but it's not very soluble. So it doesn't form a good basis for the drug. And what we did is we kind of came up with 25 novel designs that we've tested in the lab. You can see 2 of them here, but about 17 of them were better than the blue line, P53. And these drugs are almost as efficacious in terms of binding as PMI, but they're all soluble. So we don't have to worry, and that's kind of the importance of multi-property prediction, is that we have compounds that kind of, again, have all these properties. And now we're extending this further by taking these hits and engineering them so that they bind to a second target, MDM2. So it's really important in kind of most cancers that these targets are implicated in, that you can basically hit both. And so, again, this is a matter of being potent against both while also being simultaneous. And this is a kind of challenging intracellular target where you need a protein. So choosing a protein as a therapeutic is important. How did we get there, though? So I want to talk a little bit about the technology that we use to kind of build those things. Again, you can see here we've combined 2 tools, basically, Rosetta, which is kind of the state-of-the-art in protein design, as well as some internal tools. And the key takeaway is that the combination of tools was more powerful. So in the case of MDMX, we are better able to predict experimental results by combining these tools compared to basically just using one or the other. And that's how we were able to design new therapeutics. The other thing that we do is we have basically proprietary representations of proteins. We don't just use the industry or academic kind of standard representations. We try to think about how do you describe the 3D physical structure, the dynamic nature of a protein in a machine-readable way, in a way that is interpretable so that you can use it to design better therapeutics. And that we take those descriptors, which often involve the bonds in kind of the receptor site or the structure, and we use that to predict more efficacious proteins. So thanks a lot for listening to our talk. And If you're interested in learning more about Protein Cure, or your biotech company interested in working with us, please definitely feel free to reach out to me at lucas@proteincure.com. And thanks for all of your time. Looking forward to learning more and seeing more of the great companies here.